Hey everyone, welcome to the PCS-Proof Podcast, where we're covering the vital things you need to know to thrive in every season of military life. I'm your host and milspouse fitness expert, Grace Barnick-Damazo, and I encourage you to join me each week as we dive deep into topics like fitness, wellness, and entrepreneurship as a military spouse so that you can maintain your own sense of identity and purpose, conquering every transition with strength and resilience. As we journey together, you can expect uplifting conversations and insights. We'll share some laughs, and you can count on me to keep it real so that together we can become truly PCS-proof. Now let's get into it. Welcome back to the PCS-Proof Podcast, where we cover everything you need to know to thrive in every season of milspouse life. It's been a busy week. As the time I'm recording this, we're going into Memorial Day weekend, so it's kind of a shortened week and an extended weekend. I'm actually about to head out of town to go play softball over on another base within Japan, so I'm very, very excited. It's the first tournament of the season, and I'm just ready to get out there and have some fun competition, enjoy my time with my softball community. But it has meant that it's been kind of a busy week. And so I'm recording this the morning that I leave. And is it ideal? Absolutely not. I'd rather have extra time to really sit down and make sure that everything is perfect. That's my nature. I like to put in good effort and make things as perfect as possible. But that's not the way that real life is. And so today I really wanted to dive into the topic that many of us struggle with, including myself, which is perfectionism. Specifically, we'll be discussing how the pursuit of perfection can actually hinder your progress in health and fitness, and how you can start to overcome this mindset so that you can achieve your goals, or in my case, make sure that I get this episode out to you. And that's really important to me because I know you guys are so understanding and you would be okay if I, missed a week. You're all so kind and understanding and you get it, right? But I like to think to myself, if there's one person out there who really needs this consistent podcast coming out every week and they're looking forward to it and waiting for it, I want to make sure that I don't let them down. So is it perfect scenario? Is it perfect situation? Absolutely not. But I'm still going to make it happen for you. So I'm committed to that. And I hope that you can kind of take that away with you, that this is kind of my way of overcoming that perfectionistic mindset. And also, if I tried to be perfect with this podcast, even from the beginning, I probably wouldn't have made it past episode 1. I purposely leave in a lot of imperfections into every episode because I want to show you that it doesn't have to be perfect. And you guys still listen and you're also sweet and give me great feedback. And I'm always going to continue to strive to be better. But if I waited for everything to be the perfect situation and I tried so hard to be perfect in every single episode, no episodes would ever come out. That's the reality. So let's talk about perfectionism. Perfectionism is that little voice in our heads that tells us that we have to get everything just right. As military spouses, we juggle with so many responsibilities. We juggle with relocations, with deployments, with managing the household, and it's easy to fall into that trap of thinking that we need to do it all perfectly. But when it comes to health and fitness, striving for perfection can actually really hold us back. So today I'm going to share 5 key ways that focusing on perfectionism can be detrimental to achieving your health and fitness goals. And I'm going to provide some actionable steps to overcome each one. Now, we all probably never have the true, accurate numbers on this because, as we've talked about before, people are often ashamed to share when they fail at things. That's not something that people like to openly share. So know that I'm using this example based on anecdotal evidence and common feedback that I hear from my years and years being in the fitness industry. Have you ever tried intense fitness programs like 75 Hard or Insanity or P90X? Maybe you've heard of some of those. And if not you, do you know someone who has tried these out? Have you seen a friend on Facebook or social media who starts to post all their workouts, post that they're doing this challenge, post their meals, post the books that they're reading, etc. But after a few weeks, those posts just kind of start to drop off. They kind of fade away. And I know that I'm not saying that it has anything to do with the people who participate in these challenges or you, if that is you. I think that anyone who invests time and effort into their health should be applauded. They should be applauded for that effort. Rather, I'm focusing on criticizing the system, the flawed philosophy around programs like P90X, 75 Hard, or Hard 75, however you say it, or like Insanity, that place so much emphasis on being perfect, on not missing a day, and so on, that leave people feeling like failures when they can't keep up or they need to take a day off for any reason. And it's speculated, this is speculation, that completion rates for these programs are as low as 20% and as high as maybe 50%. So again, we're speculating, but 20 to 50%, even if that's true on the conservative end, that means that 5 out of every 10 people who start programs like this end up giving up. And knowing how important it is for us in military life, as women in military life, to stay healthy and strong so that we can continue to support our military families, 50% success rate is just not good enough for me. We have to start to make this mindset shift away from perfectionism. Because as you know, in military life, there's no such thing as perfect schedules, perfect PCSs, or even perfect homecomings. So let's talk about the 5 key ways that focusing on perfectionism can be detrimental to achieving your health and fitness goals, and how to start the mindset shift away from perfectionism. Okay? So first up, let's talk about the all or nothing mentality. This is when you have to follow the plan perfectly or not follow it at all. So you're following it fine, and then you have one little slip up, and so you have to say, like, well, I can't do it at all. I need to give up, or I try it again next year. Well, a study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that individuals with this kind of mindset, this all or nothing mindset, are less likely to maintain regular exercise routines. They see any deviation from the plan as a total failure, leading to a cycle of giving up entirely after minor slip-ups. And as military spouses, our schedules are often unpredictable. Maybe you missed a workout because your spouse had a sudden deployment, or you had to handle an emergency with the kids. Life happens inevitably. This is about picking yourself up and continuing even if you stumble. Think of it as adapting and overcoming, and you know we need to be adaptable, just like our service members do. So I want you to start to shift your mindset to see fitness more as a journey rather than a destination, okay? There's no perfect. If you miss a workout or you indulge in a treat, it's not the end of the world. Just get back on track the next day. Your body doesn't know that you were supposed to work out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 a.m. It's not going to punish you if you needed to miss one day or you needed to move the days or the times in the week. We have to let go of this all or nothing mind trap in order to achieve our goals within military life. Next, let's discuss how perfectionism can lead to anxiety and increased stress. So I was reading a study in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology, and it found that higher stress levels are linked to lower activity levels. So lower levels of physical activity are directly correlated with higher levels of stress. And honestly, I could talk about stress forever. It's what I studied in college, and it really has a major aspect on so many elements of our health and fitness. Plus, chronic stress leads to elevated cortisol levels, which we do not need within military life. We already have high enough stress levels just as is. But these higher or elevated cortisol levels can trigger our body to hold on to excess body fat, particularly abdominal fat, and it can suppress our immune system. So we don't need any of those things. As military spouse, we often deal with the stress of relocations, deployments, managing the household alone. Adding the pressure of achieving perfect fitness goals can create a stress loop. The more you push for these perfect results, the more stressed you become, and the harder it is to stick to your healthy routine. Remember, it's okay to give yourself grace. And I would recommend just generally to incorporate some sort of stress management techniques like mindfulness, meditation, or if yoga's your thing, add yoga into your routine. These practices can help you to manage that stress and help to maintain your fitness goals in addition to all the other benefits of managing your stress. Another biggie is setting unrealistic expectations. That's key point number 3 when it comes to overcoming perfectionistic mindset. A study in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity found that unrealistic goal setting can decrease motivation and increase dropout rates. When we don't meet our high expectations, we feel like we're failing, and we lose that drive, that motivation to continue. Think about like preparing for PCS. If you expect everything to go perfectly, no lost items, no delays, you're setting yourself up for added stress, one, and disappointment for sure. I know this because I've done this before. I've definitely had that, like, everything's going to go perfectly with this one. It's going to be so much easier this time. Mistake. And this last PCS was a perfect example of that. So instead, think about breaking larger tasks down into smaller, more manageable ones, and then celebrate every small success. And the same goes for our fitness goals. We want to break down larger goals into smaller, more achievable, more mentally kind of attainable, bite-sized pieces that we can attack and then celebrate every single win. You've probably heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, SMART, S-M-A-R-T goals. So breaking down the bigger goals into smaller, manageable milestones. I also encourage you, and this is something that I do with a lot of my private coaching members, is to set the goal as one less than your actual goal. So for example, if your goal is to complete 4 workouts each week, commit yourself to 3, not 4. Make that 4th one an extra credit workout or a bonus workout. This is going to feel so much more positive and encouraging to complete all 4. And if you're only able to knock out 3, you're less likely to be beating yourself up because 3 workouts is still a win, let me tell you. So can you see how that works? So even if my goal is 4, I'm going to set it as 1 less. I'm going to commit myself to getting 3. That way, if I set it at 4 and I missed out on 1, I'm probably going to be beating myself up. But if I set it at 3 and I achieve it and then I get a 4th one in, that's going to feel so much more encouraging and empowering, right?
Hey, fellow milspouse. Ever felt the frustration of being forced to restart your fitness routine every time military life throws you a curveball? Whether it's a PCS, a deployment, or a short-term assignment, disruptions can make progress feel nearly impossible. But now there's a solution designed just for you. The PCS-Proof Fitness Program from FitPath Coaching. Designed by a woman in military life, for women in military life. It's flexible, adaptable, and affordable. No more setbacks or starting over, just steady progress on your terms. Visit fitpathcoaching.com/PCS-proof-fitness to start your journey today. And as a special offer for our podcast listeners, get your first month free with promo code POD4FREE. That's POD, the number 4, FREE. Say goodbye to stress and frustration and hello to a stronger, healthier, happier you with PCS-Proof Fitness. Join us today and get ready to conquer any challenge military life sends your way. PCS-Proof Fitness, join today.
So now let's talk about neglecting progress and neglecting small wins. A study in psychological science found that recognizing small wins boosts motivation and perseverance, and ignoring these small wins can make you feel like you're not making any progress. And this is going to lead to not just discouragement, but probably burnout as well. So you feel like you're just spinning your wheels and not making any progress because we're ignoring the wins along the way, the journey. In our military life, we learn to celebrate those small victories, whether it's making it through a deployment or mastering a new duty station, making it through maybe chief season. And in the world of fitness, every step forward is progress. Every step forward is moving you closer to your ultimate goal. Did you manage to squeeze in a workout when errands and kids' activities seem to be taking over your schedule? Celebrate that. These small wins add up to big changes over time. It is cumulative. I would recommend keeping a fitness journal or using an app to track your progress and your consistency. And don't fall into the trap of tracking the things that you missed out on. In other words, a lot of times we end up like putting an X on days that we missed a workout. Rather, I would like you to recognize when you did do something. So instead of marking X's on missed days, put smiley faces or a gold star on days that you did do something. And when you look at that calendar and you start to see all those gold stars, filling up the calendar, that's going to feel amazing, right? So use positive markers rather than negative ones to reinforce the wins, not the missed opportunities. Finally, we have burnout and overtraining. Studies like the one that I read in the European Journal of Applied Physiology show that overtraining leads to physical and mental exhaustion, decreased performance, and increased injury risk. And I know this is a really hard one for a lot of people to grasp, is once they get on a roll, they think, well, I can't stop, I have to just keep going, but that actually could be putting you at increased risk for injury and burnout. Chronic fatigue and muscle soreness are common symptoms that can derail your fitness journey. So if we're working so hard, we're not giving our bodies a break, and then we're so sore and so tired that we have to take a day off, and then all or nothing mindset might start to come in play. You can see how this kind of can snowball in the wrong direction. So balance is really key. Remember that rest days are just as important as your workout days. Your body needs time to recover and rebuild. It's not about doing more. It's about doing it smart. Just like we need downtime to recharge from the demands of this crazy military life, our bodies need downtime to recover from physical effort and exertion. Ensure that you are incorporating rest days into your fitness routine. Listen to your body. Give it the rest it needs to recover and grow stronger. And with my consistent clients, I make it a priority to recognize them and praise them for listening to their bodies and taking a rest day if they need it. And the reason why is because, for whatever reason, again, I blame the influx of intense workout programs that roll in and out of popularity and reinforce this need to be perfect or need to be overly intense about their exercise, or else you fail the program, right? So I blame them. I don't blame the person, but I do want to start to acknowledge and celebrate rest just as much as we celebrate getting workouts in. Overcoming perfectionism is crucial to achieving your health and fitness goals, especially as a military spouse or a woman in military life. So here are 3 easy action steps that you can start to take today to start to overcome that perfectionistic tendency. Number 1 is to set realistic goals. Aim for progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. You could use the SMART acronym to set those achievable goals and set yourself up for feelings of achievement and success rather than feelings of failure by using that one less than your actual goal strategy. Number 2, celebrate all the small wins. Keep track of your progress and celebrate every achievement, no matter how small. Look at the bigger picture and the positive trends rather than putting so much pressure on that one single day or one single workout. And number 3, manage your stress. Incorporate mindfulness or meditation practices into your daily routine to help manage stress and stay focused on your fitness journey. In my experience as a fitness professional, this is going to move the needle much faster than putting so much stress and pressure on being perfect. And remember that fitness is a journey. It's not a destination. It's all about making consistent, sustainable changes that lead to a healthier, happier you. So let's start to ditch that perfectionism. Let's start to embrace the progress and the process, okay? That's all for this week's episode of the PCS-Proof Podcast. I hope that you found these insights helpful. I hope that you feel inspired to let go of perfectionism in your health and fitness journey, or at least start to move in that direction. I do understand that it's not an overnight fix for most of us, but again, we don't have to be perfect, but let's take one small step in that direction. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, share it with your fellow male spouses and women in military life. And if you have a story about how you PCS-proofed a part of your life, how you overcame perfection in part of your life and achieved bigger goals because of it, or you just have a story that you'd like to share with that you feel like this audience could use and benefit from, I would love to bring you on a future episode to share your success and share some of the lessons that you learned that can help other women. Head over to the website fitpathcoaching.com/PCS-Proof-Podcast and click the link at the bottom of this page to submit your application to join me on future episodes. And with that being said, I hope that you have a great week ahead. And no matter where military life sends you in this world, Remember, together we are PCS-Proof. Adios.
And here is the legal language. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or fitpathcoaching.com. Moreover, we are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast.